this whole work-life balance thing that seems to be muddling people up a lot. I think that it's unrealistic to think that life is always going to be in balance. The truth be told, and I can tell you this from my own personal experience, that when you're in business, when you have a high-pressure job, when you are an entrepreneur, when you're always creating, when you're a husband, a wife, a father, a mother, when you've got mouths to feed, bills to pay, when you're in that type of situation, there is very little time for this true work-life balance where we're having equally great work time and smashing out a great deal of work, and then we're also having our downtime and it's even balanced, right? I think it's a myth, and it's something that a lot of people get confused with, and they get upset at the fact that they're working so hard all the time. I can tell you right now, I've never fucking worked hard in my life. Starting a new business after being in business for 10 years, you'd think that it would be just, water off the duck's back for me, but it's not. It's a different kettle of fish. It's a whole new way of looking at things. It's a lot more pressure because I'm starting from scratch, and I know I'm not alone out there. I know there's people out there that feel and think the same way. So I don't want you to think less of yourselves. As a matter of fact, I want to implement a bodybuilding metaphor that I used to follow back in the day, I guess, right? So people would think when you go to the gym and you lift weights, you actually build muscle when you're in the gym. But it's a myth, it's actually false. When you're in the gym, you actually break down muscle fiber, you actually tear it down. When you go outside of the gym and you eat, get nourished, you rest, you recuperate, you drink adequate amounts of water and things like that, that's when you grow. So the thing is that I think we all have to realize that life doesn't get any easier, but we have to get tougher. So what I want you to now think about is a couple of strategies that you can implement into your life that can help you be all-weather resistant, that can help you tolerate the stress levels, because shit's just going to happen. And at the end of the day, it's going to happen with or without you. Life just keeps moving on. So I guess for all of us in this entrepreneurial space, we have to level up now and really take ourselves to the next level. And it starts really from the inside out. So the first thing I want to encourage you to do is to start getting your nutrition right. Start to nourish yourself with fresh foods. Now, I can tell you from fresh experience, I'm doing a couple of tests myself, that from the outside, I think I look fit and healthy, but on the inside, I can tell you honestly, I'm not. Now, the reason why that is because of my lifestyle and because I've been working so hard inside and outside of work hours. My brain's always going. There are things that I haven't done properly nutritionally, and one of those things is to really get fresh, live foods into our systems all the time. So one of the things that we do as a nation is that we eat out of boxes, out of packets. We microwave foods. We don't go for fresh raw vegetables all the time, and so that's something that you should implement, and I would suggest that you could do a lot more with. If you're doing it already, claps to you, and thanks so much for implementing that into your life. The next thing is to get adequate rest, and rest may not just be sleeping adequately, it may be just downtime. So one of the strategies that I've learned only recently is about working for 50 minutes and then taking a 10-minute break. Doing things like that can help you get a lot of output into your workday, and then take a 10-minute break in that hour space, and then have a bit of downtime, regroup, grab a cup of tea or a glass of water or a fresh piece of fruit or vegetables, and something like that to keep you going. If you can take some time to perhaps read a book, to perhaps do some sort of meditation, and if it's not meditation in terms of being still and quietening your mind, maybe it's listening to music, maybe it's doing something that you get a lot of enjoyment out of. So those sorts of things are something that you can implement into your life. The next thing is that we don't really do a lot of things that make our heart sing, that make our soul come alive. So one of the things for me is music and playing a musical instrument. And it's one thing that I've done from as early as 10 years old, and something I'm very passionate of. But as life gets in the way, I've let it go. And it's a part of me that I'm bringing back into my life. It makes me come alive, time stands still, and I really lose myself in the moment. If that's something that you can implement into your life, then I would advise it. Something like painting, if it's drawing, if it's reading, if it's, watching black and white films, whatever it might be, do that. Get something into your life that makes your heart sing, that makes you come alive. If you have trouble thinking about what that is, then go back to your childhood, go back to your adolescence, go back to your 20s. If you're, like me, heading into your 40s, then, perhaps you can go back 10 or 15 years about the things that you did in high school and in your early 20s. That might help you come to life again. If it's sport or whatever it might be, start doing it on a regular basis, even if it's half an hour or 1 hour a week. That will make a fundamental difference in your life. See, once again, life is always going to happen. Shit's just always going to come up. You always have to deal with the rising pressures of life. And life will happen with or without you. So it's not about, blissing out on the beach and getting your Zen time in and starting your day and then going to the gym and then having all this great work-life balance. Trust me, if you're married, if you've got 3 kids like me with a mortgage and trying to run a business, everything's out of balance. So you have to manage yourself internally. Life doesn't get any easier, but we have to get tougher.